Hey guys, my name is Akhil Misri and today we'll be talking about chatbots. To give you a brief on what I do, I am mainly a developer who's working extensively on chatbots and then a little bit on Alexa skills as well as in blockchain. So blockchain is relatively new field for me, so I just started working on it, but I know enough about it. So yeah, let's continue with the main topic, that is chatbots. So today, I'll be giving you like a brief of where all chatbots are being used. Before that, we'll be talking about what is the chatbot, and then its limitations and the types of chatbots. We'll go to Dialogflow, which I personally use, um, and then we'll head on to demos in my later videos as well as some hands-on sessions. First question, it's like I want uh, people to understand. It's like, what is a chatbot? It's like not everyone knows how, and not everyone knows about chatbot basically. I have actually been to corporates where when I propose someone about a chatbot, some people give me that surprised look on, okay, what is a chatbot? So Chatbot seems to be out there since quite some time now. It's been years now, but not many know about it because it's not being, not many have been educated about it, or rather, not many have explored this field. So, first of all, let's understand what is chatbot. Uh, the important point over here is it is a combination of NLP as well as machine learning. I'm sure some of you would have heard about natural language processing, that is NLP, where you know uh, you understand human understandable language. The way I'm talking to you right now, that is NLP basically. And then machine learning, wherein you analyze, you create models and you understand what the user is talking about. And so basically it is a combination of how a human is speaking and creating model which makes users sorry makes developers like us to create chatbots that understand what the user is asking for basically. And it is also an application that can converse with the user through messaging applications like Facebook Messenger, Skype, then you have Slack, and the list goes on, right? And then you have websites. I'll be giving you a brief on how messaging applications, how useful is it in messaging application, how useful is it in websites, mobile apps, and phone calls. We'll get to it in later slides. And then formulating responses in natural language. So let's take for example, if I'm interacting with the chatbot, we developers at the backend ensure that the humans feel that there is a the users, the end users basically feel that there is a person at the back end who is interacting with them as such. So we give that, formulate these responses at the back end when we are doing these integrations with external systems, and then create like a human kind of responses where the user actually feels that there is a person who is speaking to me right now, and so on. So chatbot is nothing but an application, just to keep it simple. uh, so it is an application at the back end that converses with the user and answers their queries, or assists with their queries. So what is the purpose? Why do you think chatbots are used? The main agenda of using a chatbot is to save time. Whenever you go to corporates, okay, there are some corporates who know about it, okay. So I am I'm so it's like you can say it's more like 50-50. 50% know about it, the other 50 doesn't. So but mainly corporates use it to save time, on a lot of things. Let's take for example, I would rather give in this example a business let's take for example call centers. uh, you have like 50 employees who each employee, let's take for example in 5 minutes they are talking to one person at a time. So 50 employees in 5 minutes talk to only 50 end users who are facing problems. The others, some of them would be waiting on calls or on hold because these 50 customer agents are busy on with another client. And I mean, that's obviously understandable, but how do we solve this problem of not allowing our customers to wait? That is by introducing a chatbot that can assist these customer agents and reduce their overhead and not exactly replace them, like 100% for that matter. So it is not always about removing or laying off employees. It always is something better than that. That is saving time, reducing the overhead. I just thought I'll add it with that. But yeah, that can also be an extra point because reducing overhead from those customer agents is a big thing. Then what they can do is they can concentrate on escalation task, or they can concentrate on much higher problems than the basic queries that let's say out of 100 or 200 customers, there are at least 25 to 50 user queries or customer queries that are redundant, and that takes very less time, but it takes a while. Okay, so those redundant things can be automated with the help of chatbot, wherein the entry point for the user will be the chatbot, and if the chatbot is not able to answer the question, then we forward it to the live agent at the back end. So basically, we are saving time in for the customer where he doesn't have to wait on call. Also for the customer agent who is able to save his time and spend his time on higher priority tasks such as maintaining high level risk and not low level risk. Okay. Okay, that is one. Reaching more customers, this is in case of small companies, entrepreneurs, you know startups, and people like those who want to reach out to a lot of customers. Provide them with offers, provide them with constant notifications, wherein they are giving a lot of offers as such for specific customers in specific areas, countries, locale, and stuff like that. So reaching out to more customers is where messaging platforms or messenger platforms come into picture. Let's take for example Facebook Messenger for that matter, right? So right now, I'm sure most of us see Facebook Messenger is being used for a lot of purposes, wherein I am able to, or we are able to interact with these small entrepreneurs or these small businesses, reach out to them and ask for products, right? So that makes the conversation very much easier. And the other, so instead of talking to the customer over here, I'll be speaking to the bot, asking about, that specific company, asking about that specific product. So the bot can easily do that. You don't have to have a person at the back end, right? And the second thing is giving notifications, sending out notification. You can create or schedule tasks for to do that, or you can ask the chatbot to do that for you. That if after every 15 to 20 days you send out a scheduled offer notification, or a due date notification of a task and things like that, you can make the chatbot do those scheduled tasks for you, so that you can reach out to a lot of customers, help them, that you remember them, and that you're offering and or extending an offer to them so that they can avail it, and things like that. The third point is availability. So availability, we'll go back to the same call center example. Let's take for example again 50 customer agents. See, we obviously are not going to expect them to work 24 hours a day. So what we do is we make them work for 8 hours a day. and hire another set of 50 customer agents who work on rotational shifts, right? Now you have 100 employees working 24 hours a day, and I'm not talking each person working 24 hours a day. I'm talking collectively, uh, overall, 24 hours a day. So I mean, that is a lot of cost, right? Per person, per customer agent is going to be paid a lot in this case. So why not just keep 8 hours a day, hire only 50 customer agents, let the chatbot do the rest. Let the chatbot can be live 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and so on. So they can just keep working. They can be available to the customer 24 hours a day, answer any of their queries. If it is not able to answer those queries, probably it can record those, the customer's information, and the next day you can get back to the user. So I mean, this may not work in all cases. There are possibilities where you would want a customer agent at the back end. So that's why we need to work out that scenario. Probably those 50 employees can work on rotational shifts, wherein 25 are working, because now that the chatbot is assisting them, 25 can work first shift, the rest 25 can work the second shift. It's just an example. So there is always ways to optimize this. There are possibilities that the chatbot can support them 100%, or it can support them 50 to 60%. So that goes based on how good the developer is, and which tool or which platform are they using, right? So all those things come into picture at that time. Now, next thing is human-like interface. So this is the part where I'm talking about interacting with the user, making the end users feel as if there is a customer at the sorry there is an agent at the back end who is responding to them, like a live human agent that is responding to them, wherein we are giving this human interface. Let's take for example, the user says hi to the chatbot, and the chatbot replies saying, "Greetings, what may I help you with today?" But not in a robotic voice, that is. So over here we are talking about chatbots. So I'm going to be sticking mainly to text and not voice chatbots. So through text, it's not really a bot. Okay, so that bot feeling won't the customer basically won't get that bot kind of feeling. It will be only when the customer asks in a query to the chatbot, which the chatbot is not able to ask, uh, reply to. The chatbot may not have it does not have answers to, because okay, I'll come to its limitations soon. The next thing is increased user interactions. These also come in. So this advantage mainly show is applies only on websites or on messaging platforms, where, let's take for example, a company website. I go to a company website right now. I have to go through literally 3 to 4 pages to understand what they're offering, what their services are, who their team is, and things like that, right? But what if you have a chatbot who knows everything about you, right? It's not as difficult. You don't have to teach it ABCD, right? It's about teaching your chatbot what your company is all about, so that it can go and tell the rest of the world what your company does, right? So let's take for example, I go on a website today which has a chatbot, and I ask it questions like, what is Metrimap. So there is this product named Metrimap, they have a website. So I'm just taking it as an example. So what is Metrimap? Then it gives me a response. Then I ask it, okay, so basically I can ask sub questions like what kind of products do you have, how will it help me, how will it help my company, and things like that. So those kind of questions when we ask, the chatbot will be able to respond to, right? It increases user engagement. I can collect leads, or we can collect leads on the website without even without them realizing it, right? Because customer engagement is important, and just with the website customer engagement doesn't exactly happen as such. If you have a chatbot that is interacting with the user, you can trigger or add a trigger for it to ask questions to the user himself, right? You don't need to have a live agent at that time. The chatbot can be your live agent, right? So then the last point is integrations with external systems. This is this point mainly applies on enterprises as well as small businesses. But small businesses, it's all right kind of thing, wherein we are just integrating the chatbots with normal databases or CRM systems. But when we are talking about enterprises, we are imagine the data, the quantity of data that they may have, and the type of systems that they may be working with. There are reporting systems, there are analytic systems, things things like that, right? So we are talking about integrating chatbot to those kind of systems, those kind of big badass systems out there. So chatbots can be integrated with all of them. It's just that we need to define architectures as such which help us, ease the process of integrations and use APIs. So in this last section, that is the integration, APIs are the most important one, the most useful ones, the lifesavers. So APIs are very much required in this case where we are talking about integrations with external systems, right? So this is why chatbots are being used. These are the most important points, or the reasons why companies prefer chatbots or are using chatbots, or they should be using chatbots, right? There are a lot of other things that we can do with it based on the integrations that we do with the system, and what types of system, the use cases that we work on, right? I'll be explaining about few use cases um, in in one or two slides, after one or two slides, sorry. If you guys liked the video, if you have any queries related to chatbots, if you want me to improve my video content, please let me know. As I recently started with it again, I just want to know your views on the presentation or the video that I just created, right? I'll be waiting for your responses. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. Bye.